Welcome to the Recap Podcast. This is the monotone episode. Today, everything we say will be just like this.
I'm not doing that. Welcome back to the Recap Podcast. I am your host, one of your hosts, Colin Anderson.
Wow.
That's my other... That's the co-host number 2. Number 1, depending on... I'm not trying to make...
We are all created equal in the sight of God.
Amen. And
unless you're a woman comparing yourself to a man, in which case... I'm just kidding.
Not sure where that was going.
If we're all equals, does that include,
No, it does not.
Moving on. I'm sorry. Just opened that can of worms and took a worm out. That's how much I got.
Right, let me just dump this thing on the table. Oh boy. Give us wait till season 4 before we start making those kind of jokes. We're just not quite there yet.
We're not there yet. Are we even in season 3 yet? We're not.
No.
We're still in season 2.
Yeah.
Colin's hold on. We're wait a few more seasons.
Yeah. We got to get an audience so that we can offend enough of them that they leave.
Amen.
It doesn't even matter if there's no one to leave. Which there's some people, but most of them are our friends who will love us even if we say mean things.
Please love me forever.
Please love me.
Sorry, totally interrupted your intro there.
No, go.
Keep it
going.
Go
ahead, interrupt all you want.
I'm done.
Oh.
Interrupting.
All right. So like I was saying, this is our recap podcast where we recap and whatnot. Sometimes, not really, but...
Yeah, we do. I mean, everything you say, I end up recapping it.
Mm-hmm. So it's deep stuff.
Yeah.
Well, let me just take a quick look at my outline here. Because I forgot where we're going with this.
I don't know what's happening.
Life update is next on the agenda.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go, please. Please, just interrupt me again.
I'm so sorry. I just feel like you were going to go, I don't have anything to say.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I got nothing. What do you got?
Colin, you do, though. You just think about the things that you did this week.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Should I go through my whole week last week?
Whoa. No. We don't care that much.
That's what I'm saying. I got
just
nothing.
Enough. Here's what I'm going to say, right? Take notes.
Okay.
Take notes. So this last week I got to play electric guitar at church.
Yes.
And that was hype.
That sounds hype.
It was totally hype. I actually led the worship set. And I was so happy with it. I usually get really nervous about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The old saying, you're your worst critic. Very true in Ian Anderson's world. However, I feel like I was my worst critic, and I was like, I did all right. I was like, not bad at all.
Nice.
So, yeah, I don't know. I was just really happy about that, and I'd been talking about the fact that I was going to do that, so I thought I'd bring it full circle. And be like, yo.
Bring it back.
Yo, everybody. Because I was talking to somebody. Maybe it was Tate, because we had Tate on the podcast.
Yes, we did.
Last week. And I don't know. We were talking or something, and I was like, I'm at practice, and he's like, dude, is this the one you're leading for? And I was like, how does he know that?
That is fun when you forget that you have a podcast.
For real.
And you're like, oh, people know things.
Dude, that's so real. Okay. So when Drew got here.
Yeah.
The Dexter, whatever. When he got here, I walked out and I gave him a big hug. I haven't seen him in forever. And he was like, hey, what's up? And I was like, what the heck? Why aren't you excited to see me?
Yeah.
I didn't say that right out of the blue, but I ended up getting kind of around to it and being like, you feels like we just met, or whatever. I was like, feels like we saw each other last week. And he's like, yeah, dude, it's crazy. I listen to your voice all the time, and I definitely feel like we're together all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ew, that's so weird.
Well, it's when I started going to the young adults group that we go to, when was that? Sometime in the summer, I think I started. There was at least one person there that I hadn't met but listened to our podcast.
Wild, dude.
So I was like, hey, I'm such and such. I know.
Oh, that's funny.
It's like, oh boy.
That's funny, dude. See, that's what I'm saying. That's just cool.
It's weird. Cool. It's crazy being famous.
We have a newish listener. I think she started at the beginning. Her name's Tiara, so shout out Tiara.
Shout out Tiara.
and she's been loving it, right? And
Yeah.
like she started at the beginning. She said, so I don't know if she'll make it, honestly. If you make it here, Tiara, it's awesome. It's awesome. It'll probably be like well after Christmas before if she continues to do it in order. Anyway,
I don't know. Some people get through podcasts fast.
That's true. She said she has I think she said 2 hours at the end of her day where she's just by herself in the office or whatever.
If she's listening to just our podcast, that's like a week or two.
That's crazy.
A couple weeks, I think.
It's a couple weeks. I don't know. She could get through 2 episodes a day, roughly.
Yeah.
How many episodes do we have? 26.
This is 25.
25.
So that's 12 and a half days.
12 and a half days, which is
5 days a week.
Almost 2 weeks.
Well, 5 days a week if it's
5 days a week.
If it's a
work week. Right.
So third week, you're finished.
Third week, you're finished. So Tiara, nice job. You made it.
Yeah.
And
good job.
No, but it was just funny, like, because the same thing happened with her. She was like, I feel like I just talked to you. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, the podcast.
The podcast.
I was like, oh,
yeah, it's
the podcast. Crazy. Yeah, so I don't know. It's just a fun little, it's a fun part of the podcast that you don't necessarily expect to be one of the fun parts.
It was the same thing with me with, like, when we recorded the episodes with Drew and with Tate. Because I'd never met Drew in person,
right?
And I met Tate once, so it's like I barely know this person.
Yeah,
but they know me, I guess.
But they know who I am.
They know me. But they're both cool,
so it was good.
They
do know you. They know everything about
me.
And they know that your love of McDonald's is just fake.
Mm-hmm.
And most of your personality on the podcast,
most of it
is just
honestly.
Like, what's the word?
Fake.
Sure. Yeah.
That's the one you used before.
This is our last episode because I've exposed all of it.
You've exposed all of my lies, and there's nothing left.
And it's over, you guys.
Nothing left to lie about.
Good night. Good night, tri-state area. What is the... Did you ever watch Phineas and Ferb?
I've seen a couple episodes.
Okay. Can you explain tri-state area to me?
No. Because I don't know what it is.
Well, I think
it's tri means 3, you see.
Right.
State means state. So 3 states.
3-state area.
Mm-hmm.
So like 3 states touch each other. They're in like kind of that area.
Maybe.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I just don't know.
Should we Google it?
No.
What is the tri-state area?
I think it's probably like a... I just don't know. I just don't know.
He just doesn't know. Aereo. I said aereo. The tri-state area. Here we go.
Yeah, what do you got?
What is considered the tri-state area? New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut.
Okay.
That's the tri-state area.
All right.
There we go.
I'll allow it.
Mystery solved. Tri-state area is an informal term in the United States which can refer to any of multiple areas that lie across 3 states.
Oh, right
when
on.
referring to populated areas, the term implies a shared economy or culture among the area's residents.
Sure.
Typically concentrated around a central metropolis, probably New York.
Probably.
New York.
Right.
That's cool. New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. That's where Phineas and Ferb are from. If you guys were ever curious. Bada bing, bada boom. Childhood mystery solved. Moving on.
Yeah, what's our next question to
find the
answer for?
Well, it's not a question. We have a new segment.
Ba-da-ba-ba-doo.
We'll start with this one.
Okay.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, wait, it's not new. We had it one time live, remember?
Yeah, but did we name it?
Yeah.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
All right. Then we're coming back with Kaya's conspiracies, you guys. You guys. Kaya sent us a...
conspiracy.
Maybe. I don't know. He sent us a reel, and we're going to watch it. And Colin's moving my stuff.
I'm just going to put your phone there.
Don't touch my things.
That way our faces are still in the frame.
Don't touch my things, bro.
It's okay.
So we are going to react live on the podcast
You're listening to this live
to this reel, and then we're going to discuss it.
Mm-hmm.
Sound good?
And give it a rate. If it's a conspiracy,
he sent this to us on November 22nd.
We get around to stuff.
Here we go.
All right, here we go.
The Vatican archives. In the 1920s, there's a Russian professor. His name was Gingrich Ludwig, he was able to have access to the archives. 12 centuries of European history. He walked up on this one section, which was ancient books about aliens, and he came across the craziest stuff. These books talked about how these star people coming down in crafts taught all the ancient civilizations how to build the pyramids and taught the Mayans things and like all this crazy stuff. And then, this is what I thought was the craziest part, but he writes down that these things had these weapons, and I guess they used it once on Babylon, and said that this weapon that these things possessed melted the walls of Babylon with the amount of energy and heat that they produce. And today we're like, those are nuclear weapons. And I'm just like, why are they hiding this stuff?
Okay, so it's fake, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Maybe it's not fake.
All right, Micaiah. Well, that's from unfortunately, to ruin the surprise for anyone, that's from like a comedy podcast.
That doesn't mean it's fake.
It's gotta be. It's fake. It's fake. Come on.
What?
What?
It's from a podcast. They were just talking
It's from
about
a comedy podcast.
Okay, what are we?
No one really knows. We're the recap podcast.
We used to call ourselves a... What were we?
Our official genre on Apple Podcasts is improv comedy.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's not fake. That, like, I've listened to their podcast. They don't just make jokes the whole time.
All right.
You think they do?
No, but I think that is them joking around. That's what it struck me as.
Oh, that's not what it struck me as.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I felt like they were genuinely like...
All right.
Digging into the idea.
So give your rating and your little bit of explanation.
My rating on the conspiracy.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it didn't really give us much information.
Right.
Okay. Regardless of whether or not the podcast was joking around.
Sure.
Which
we'll rate it as though they were serious.
Which they weren't. The conspiracy still exists.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because somebody said, I think black is white. Now there's a conspiracy.
Whoa.
Those were poor colors to choose. I think blue is pink.
Whoa.
This is it.
Oh boy.
That was not intentional. I literally just... I think green is yellow.
Whoa, I'm just kidding.
That one's safe. Right now there's a conspiracy. Okay, so I can't believe I said that. That was the best improv joke I've ever made.
And it was on accident too.
Right after we said we're improv comedians.
As you can see, wachow.
Wachow. Wachow.
Kachow. Well, bam.
Wow, that was good. Okay.
Is that an episode? I'm just kidding.
Let's quit while we're ahead. Okay, so
because someone said it, the conspiracy exists, is what you're saying.
Yes. Right? That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair enough, I guess.
So
we'll say it is for the sake of the pod.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, it didn't give us a ton of information about the conspiracy, just that this guy had access to this library and these books said that aliens came down and taught people how to build the pyramids and then destroyed Babylon.
Babylon.
Oh, was it Babylon?
Yeah.
Wasn't Babel.
No.
Oh. Okay. I don't think it really changes anything about what I was going to say, but okay. I definitely thought they said Babel. Crazy that there's two cities that are like, why did God do that?
Well, the one's just a tower, right?
Tower of Babel located in
the
Babel.
City of right.
That's okay. You're still learning.
I'm getting there, guys.
Yeah. So it doesn't give us a ton of information, and I think that the whole pyramid thing is kind of back to basically what we just said. Like if you believe the conspiracy, then you believe that aliens helped people.
Not necessarily
build. What?
Give your rating.
If you believe this one,
I'll listen to you and then and then give my thoughts after.
Okay. My point is that I believe what I said about the pyramids, right, was that I think that there's more to them than meets the eye. I don't think that they just...
Transformers.
What?
More than meets the eye.
Is that Transformers?
It's like the thing.
Oh, okay. I think that I don't think that they were built the way that like history portrays. Okay?
So back to the question. How likely is this conspiracy theory to be accurate?
I understand your question. I'm just trying to give my thoughts on it.
No,
I'll stop, I guess.
Sorry.
I don't have any more thoughts.
Give your rating.
I don't have a rating because
You
I
have
can't
to.
remember. Now I can't remember the end of the conspiracy because there was something else.
The aliens came and taught people how to do it.
Oh,
and
the
then-
Babylon. Okay,
Yeah.
I think the conspiracy is probably like a 3 out of 10 on the likelihood level because I don't think that biblically it lines up with what happened to Babylon because it's not portrayed. I don't believe in scripture that the walls of Babylon were melted.
Okay.
Good?
Sure.
You happy with that?
I'm pretty happy
Are
with
you
that.
good that I finally did the thing?
Yes.
Okay, what's your rating?
2. 1. 1
Okay,
out of 10.
moving on.
Hey, let me give my explanation. I let you talk for a little bit.
Barely.
Hey.
You kept interrupting me going back to the, like, okay, so what's the rating, Ian?
All right, fine. We'll just stick with my rating then.
No,
1
go
out of
ahead.
10.
I'm
1 out
just
of
being
10.
grumpy. I apologize.
No, it's fine.
I would like to apologize to you, Colin. Will you accept my apology?
For sure.
Please forgive me.
Forgiven.
Thank you.
I got you.
I got you.
I'm sticking with my theory from last time. Demons, not aliens.
Okay, but isn't it almost the same thing? Like, okay, let me explain.
Paint me a picture.
Let me paint you a picture. I think I've said this before on the pod, but like, don't you think that people who say aliens did this could be, like, simply could be people who are naive to the existence of a spiritual realm?
Yes.
So if you, like, if one person says aliens and you say demons, it doesn't mean that you disagree, per se.
False.
Oh,
Here's why. Let me explain.
please do.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I have to wait.
So
But
those who, yeah, we're gonna have a moment of silence.
I'd
and
like
then
to
I'll
get into
explain
that
it.
next.
Oh,
Never mind.
okay. That was an emotional roller coaster.
My bad.
Someone could confuse demons for aliens, but that does not make the two the same thing. You see what I'm saying?
I guess.
So I, who believe that demons were an influence, or at least am open to the theory that they were an influence in the making of the pyramids,
Yeah.
believe something different than someone who believes that aliens did the same. Even though the person that believes in the aliens is just mistaking the demons for aliens.
It feels like you believe the same thing, though. I don't know,
We're witnessing the same event and coming to different conclusions.
okay. Fair enough.
In the same way that, I mean, we're all talking about the same event, but have different conclusions about it.
Fair enough.
But only one
Yeah.
person, only one can be right.
And that you're saying.
And that's me. But that doesn't mean we believe the same thing.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Super duper. Super duper. See what you're saying.
Great. What were you going to say? What was your big whoa moment? And you were like, never mind.
TBD.
Oh, okay.
Or no. TBC.
Whoa.
To be continued.
Okay.
We'll come back to it.
It won't be determined. It'll be continued.
I mean, I suppose in the continuation, you will determine.
Okay. You're right. So either works, honestly.
Either works. TBD, TBC, TBI, TMI. Whoa. What's TBI?
I don't know.
To be intentional.
To be intention. You know, that sounds like something someone would say in like a youth group. You know, TBI, I don't know.
I really love you guys. I really, really love you.
I just want to encourage you guys.
TBI.
TBI.
I want to encourage you guys
TBI.
to TBI.
To be intentional.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That doesn't make sense.
It's like people say ATM machine because it stands for automatic telling machine.
Isn't it just auto Oh no, automatic telling machine. Yeah.
So it'd be automatic telling machine.
Silly, you said it twice.
Loser.
Okay. So that's Kai's conspiracies. Pretty mid, Kai. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I mean, I think he sent it to that. He sent us that because we had talked about the pyramids.
Yeah, it was like
and
the
it was
week
kind of
after.
like it was
So
like,
hey, look at that.
Yeah, it was
I
kind
don't
of
even
like
know if that was meant to be.
Maybe it wasn't meant to be shared.
But you know what? It was anyway.
We do what we want, though.
Amen.
Because we're free.
Do it.
Is that the one you wanted?
I don't know. I
forgot what this one is. Oh. Whoops.
Whoopsie.
Okay, moving on. If you guys have been following the recap podcast, you know that last week we had a very special guest named
Gertrude.
No,
I'm just teasing. It was Tate.
It was Tate.
We skipped our other segment though. We're coming back to that.
Oh, do you want to do it now?
Sure. Or we can. Since you already said Tate, we'll just go with Tate. So then we'll come back.
Okay. Don't let me forget. I told you to put it in the outline.
I'll put it in the outline right now.
God. Okay. So Tate, as you guys know, Tate's a huge fan of the podcast. Always brings the best
talks.
Tate's Talks, one of my favorite segments of all time. Just like picking the brain of Tate.
Yeah.
Or, honestly, it's more like
Tate's picking
our brains.
He really
just like he's like, man, I want to know what they think about this.
Just poking us.
Yeah. Today's topic.
Tell me.
What's that guy? Oh, have you seen that guy on Instagram that like does crazy stuff and then he looks at him and he's like, today's topic, slavery.
No.
There's this guy on Instagram. He's like he's so sporadic, and he just like kind of blew up because of this one clip. He like, if I remember correctly, he's like eating something, and he like turns the can, and it's like olives, and he's just eating a can of olives, and he's like, packed with nutrients, one of the best foods you can eat. And then he goes, today's topic, slavery. And then the video cuts.
That's pretty funny.
Just a funny.
It's
just a funny. It's just a goof. All right. Today's topic from Tate is this. Here's the question. He says, this one is kind of a random one.
Oh, jeez.
But I also had it written down to ask you guys if you remember any bedtime stories you heard as a kid. Kind of a random one.
That's pretty random, Tate. Pretty quirky.
What's the answer?
If I remember. Oh, that's the question?
Yeah.
I see. I was expecting it to be like if you remember any bedtime stories, what were they? But I guess that's kind of the same question. But just
that's what he's asking. Do you?
Yeah, I remember some.
What were they?
Off the top of my head, there was my grandpa would tell whenever me and my siblings stayed the night at my grandparents' house. My grandpa
in the tree house?
This was a little before that when we were younger.
Context. Colin and his grandpa, right? Yes. The two of you?
Yeah.
Built a tree house at his grandpa's house that's pretty legit.
It's pretty legit.
Has outlets.
Oh yeah. It's got everything.
TV, mini fridge.
Yes.
I've never been there.
Dude, really?
Should we have a bachelor pad?
Yes.
I'm only a bachelor for so long.
It's true.
We should go over there sometime and just chill. Is it heated? Insulated?
Yes and yes.
Oh my god.
It's insulated and it has like a space heater.
Let's do it tonight. We have to work.
I don't work.
Damn.
But sometime maybe.
I'm so sick of being an adult. Can I go back to kid?
Yes. With these 3 simple steps, you too can become a kid for the small price of, I don't know,
$19.99. But wait,
it's an improv comedy podcast. Right, I'm pretty good at improv.
All right, go ahead with your thing.
Oh yeah, it was just the bunny stories. It's about like this family of bunnies.
And he made them up?
Yeah, he just made it up.
That's awesome.
It's fantastic. It was like a recurring, like continuing plot.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
It was great.
That's so hype. My answer is no. I don't remember a single bedtime story. I don't think. Well, I know my parents never really did bedtime stories, and neither did my grandparents.
Sure.
But the reason for that was because while I was growing up, I listened to a lot of like story tapes while I was falling asleep. Mm-hmm. Adventures in Odyssey.
Classic.
Big one. There was this one called Paws and Tails. Less good. Much less good.
Much less.
And there was this author. His name is Chuck Black.
Oh, yeah.
Encourage everyone to check him out. You read some of his books,
Yes,
didn't
I
you?
did.
Which ones?
The main series.
The Knights of Eritrea.
Yes.
Kingdom series.
Yes.
Both of those ones you read. Like
Yes.
Sir Dalton and Sir
Yep. I read all those.
Rowan.
Fantastic books.
Phenomenal. I'm actually listening to them like literally right now. I have them in the car. I listen to them.
I should read those again. Those are good.
Yeah. Phenomenal books. We used to listen to those. And then he actually made another series called War of the Realms. It's about angels and demons.
Whoa. It's pretty original for a Christian author.
Well, it's actually really original. It's about I feel like we've talked about this, but I'll just keep going. It's about this guy. His name is Drew Carter, and he is not a believer.
Whoa.
And he is like given the ability through some circumstances. I won't spoil anything. Through some circumstances to see into the realm of angels and demons, and he is just freaked out.
Sure.
I sounded like I was going to use a W there, but I switched. He's just totally freaked out. He doesn't know what he's seeing. He thinks that they're aliens.
See? You see? Art imitates life. Keep going.
Sure. But he's also he also has some unique skills as a person. He's very military background. So he's like, he can see these people, these things, these beings, and he just like goes on the run because it feels like they're attacking him all the time. Like they're coming after him. Right. But it's just like, little does he know, it's just the daily like occurrences that we have with the spiritual realm.
But he can just see them.
But he can see it happening.
I've either read this series or read a series exactly like it.
Okay. It's so cool. And it all crescendos with like him.
Don't spoil it.
Him saving the world.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No reason to read it now, I guess.
Well, no, there's a lot in there.
Every book has someone saving the world.
I will say this. He gets the girl.
Now we really don't need to read it.
Actually, that was a pretty big piece of the plot that I just spoiled.
We'll bleep it. We'll bleep it.
Will you really?
Maybe.
Bleep this too. You. I'm just kidding. I didn't say anything.
Yeah. You can't say that on the pod.
I know I can't. That's why I bleeped it.
Silly.
Back to Tate's question. So I don't remember any bedtime stories. But his second question is, how do you feel about bedtime stories?
Oh.
See, that was the part you were looking for in the beginning.
So I was right on.
I didn't give it to you.
So I wasn't crazy.
You weren't crazy.
Oh, you guys. What was the question? I was too busy being right to remember what you said.
How do you feel about bedtime stories?
How do I feel about bedtime stories? I think they're all right.
All right.
I mean, I guess I don't have a strong... Well, this is one of those very few things that I don't have a strong opinion on.
That's wild.
I know.
Do you have an opinion on ottomans?
Ottomans? I am pro.
You're pro ottoman. You don't even have an ottoman at your house.
I know.
And you're pro.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I like putting my feet up.
Yeah. I love ottomans. My ottoman in my house, flipping awesome.
Although I might prefer a coffee table.
Oh, really?
Over an ottoman.
That's hard, though.
Yeah, but you can put stuff on it easier.
True. But you could also just hold the stuff.
Sure.
Or maybe...
But you could have like a nice
here's a
decorative coffee table book on a coffee
You
table.
don't need that, though. That's what I was going to say. Maybe you don't need the stuff.
It's nice
just
to look
get
at,
rid of
though.
that stuff.
Mm.
Who wants to look at the decorative coffee table book?
I do.
What's it called? What's the decorative coffee table book called? If you're a Christian, what is it like? Like learning to let go. A guide to parenting.
I said a real Christian. I'm kidding. I don't actually know what that book is, but whatever. Anyway,
I don't think it's a real book. I just made it up.
Oh.
But I could totally sell it.
It sounds like a. The book would be the Holy Bible.
Oh,
Ian. What is
sitting on the coffee table? Just browse that sucker.
Just absolutely read that thing.
Browse that thing. What are you reading? Oh, I'm just browsing Second Samuel. You know,
just skimming.
Dude, that's like that could be the move, guys. Is like paperback book in the back pocket.
Bible in the back pocket.
Bible in the back pocket could be the move.
Just reading.
Oh my goodness! I never shared this.
Share.
Because it was just like a snap that Tate sent me. he sent me a Snapchat of one of his coworkers, and he's like, my boy whipped out a paperback book on his lunch break.
Dude.
And I was like, praise be to God Almighty. That's awesome. Way to go, man. Put the phone down.
I should start reading more.
It's like that guy. I should too. It's like that guy on the Instagram that like you're scrolling and he just like comes over and he's like, go to bed. Put your phone alone and go to bed. And they don't work for me.
What's even worse is the ones where it's like, stop scrolling, stop scrolling. Yeah.
Stop scrolling. Will you pray with me? No, I don't.
I'm not going to pray with you in your pre-recorded video. Does that even count? I don't know. I don't even know.
Like, I've never like resonated so much with Trey Kennedy's like whole motto. Why you doing so much?
For real.
like do less. Do less. That's just too much. Like my opinion on bedtime stories.
Yeah.
I am kind of anti.
How so? Why?
Just because.
Bless you.
I'm so sorry. I'm anti because I'm lazy and I don't want to do that for my children. I don't know. If they ask me to, I will. Maybe I would enjoy it. I don't know. I'm not a father. However, I do think that like I want to share with my kids the experience that I had growing up, which was like listening to those story tapes.
Don't you think they could be even better to hear a story from their own father's voice that came from his own mind?
Maybe. Probably worse.
Maybe it's a worse story.
My stories would be way worse.
But it's the bond between father and child.
Fair enough.
That will last a lifetime.
That's an excellent point. If we are going to get to our final segment, we should move on.
Should we hit it?
We should hit it.
We're going to introduce a game.
Game time.
Game time. Game time.
Game time.
I think we have a clip we recorded at one point.
Game time. Oh,
wow.
I kind of cracked at the end there. Game time. Ooh, that one was good. Very airy.
Very airy.
Okay, game time.
So this game is called, let me pull up my note, Movies Explained Poorly. And the way it works, I think we all know people in our lives that see a movie and you're like, tell me what it was about. And they just explain it so terribly. And that's what this is.
That's what this
is. So Ian and I have each written a few examples of like a poorly explaining a movie plot.
Correct.
And then we'll say it and the other person's going to try and guess.
Yeah. Do you want to give the example to them?
Yes.
The Pixar example?
Let me give the example. Let me pull up the text. This one was...
The Pixar one.
Yeah.
The Pixar one.
Depressed widowed father teams up with mentally challenged woman to find his disabled son.
Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo. So anyway, it's pretty quirky.
Pretty quirky, pretty weird. I have two.
I've got three, but we don't have to do all
You're
of them.
so good. We can't.
I'm so good. I'll go first then.
All right, you go first. Hit it.
A teenager who is bad at drawing is bullied by his uncle and brother and dances to help his friend.
You know this one.
Do you?
Just give me 1 second.
Okay.
I want to make a note really quick because I just thought of a good one to do.
Yeah.
But now I just forgot it.
That's okay. It'll come back.
It'll come back. The answer is Napoleon Dynamite.
Yes.
But say the quote again because I was...
A teenager who is bad at drawing is bullied by his uncle and brother and dances to help his friend.
That's so good, man.
Thanks. It was a little... I don't know. It was a little too...
It wasn't really that on the nose. I just like...
You're just that good.
Napoleon Dynamite is like something that we just like know really well. So
you can play along at home too if you get it.
Yeah.
Before we say it, pause. Before we say the answer, pause and tell us what you think.
Yes.
Before you pause and call Ian or I and tell us your guess. Then we'll say, I don't know, listen to the podcast and then you'll know.
No phone calls.
All right, Ian.
Listening along.
Dang it.
Okay. A group of criminal kids attempt to steal a toy from a vicious dog.
Oh, is this a Sandlot?
Yes.
Dude.
It was a Sandlot.
Nice.
That was good, right?
Yeah, that was good.
Okay.
That was good.
I was a little nervous that I didn't do this right.
I was a little nervous, but...
it worked out.
Some kids fight over nothing.
What?
Some kids fight over nothing.
Huh. Some kids.
The Hunger Games.
Should have been some kids die over nothing.
Yeah. But the problem is when I was writing it, like the Hunger Games was in my head, so I even thought this was like way too obvious.
Oh, really?
You know, it's just when you're thinking about it, it's like, oh yeah, you get that right away. But then,
fair enough.
You know.
Okay.
Weird.
Old man plays with nature and many children die.
Many children die. That I'm just trying to think of movies where many children die, and I know so many. I'm just. My initial thought is like Star Wars Episode 3.
No.
But I can't see
Think
how
of the first part.
Man plays with nature. I don't know.
Jurassic Park.
How do you figure many children?
Well, okay, Jurassic.
The franchise. I don't know of any children that die though.
Dude, the dinosaurs get out into the park, and a bunch of people die in the park. There's a lot
In
of
the
children
new ones.
in the park. Yeah.
Specifically Jurassic World.
Sure. Why are you picking this apart?
Well,
it was good.
Because it was wrong.
It was not wrong.
A little bit.
Okay, many people die.
Sure. Okay.
Could have been children.
Could have. But the problem is in the first 3, the park was never open, so there wouldn't have been children there.
I was speaking to the franchise, though.
Okay, fine. Well, I'm sorry. Sorry, I just hate you. That's all it is.
That makes me so mad that you didn't like mine.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. Okay.
A bunch of people walk around in the sand and in weird buildings.
Inception.
No.
Oh, I don't know. I just kind of spitballed there. I was like, weird buildings.
That was supposed to be.
Oh, wait. The Maze Runner?
That was pretty good, but that's not it.
Oh, what is it?
Dune.
I've never really seen it.
Yeah, I saw it once, but I don't remember a lot of it. And that's what I remember. So that one legit is me explaining
a movie poorly.
Yeah.
Well, there it is, guys.
That's the podcast.
That's the podcast.
That's the segment.
Make sure to tune in next. No, I'm just kidding. But
pretty close.
I enjoyed that game.
That was fun.
It was quick. It was sweet, but like
we could bring it back and like maybe spend more than. I didn't spend much time thinking about it.
10 minutes probably. Yeah. I did. Yeah.
So.
But like, I have some ideas that I think.
Yeah.
Will. I don't know. Yeah, we could bring it back. It's a good idea, Colin.
Thanks.
It was a good idea.
It's based off a Facebook post I saw.
That's awesome. Dude, Facebook groups. Remember that?
Facebook groups are a good thing.
I join a lot of Facebook groups, but not many of them post.
I have a really good one I'm in that I've never thought about in terms of like content.
Yeah.
But I think it would have some good stuff.
Oh.
It's called, I always forget the name. It's something along the lines of things that didn't happen so much that it unhappened, or this didn't happen so much that it unhappened things that did happen.
What?
So people just post like screenshots of Facebook posts where people just make stuff up.
Oh.
You know, like people just lie.
Yeah.
And it's like, that did not happen.
That's funny.
And then they'll tag the group in the comments.
Yeah. I'm in a Facebook group that is called Food in Places It Shouldn't Be.
Nice.
That one is funny. There's like a mop bucket full of beans.
It's just full of beans.
It's full of beans. Makes me chuckle. Beans. All right. So we're going to end with quote of the week.
No, why do people do that this week?
No, not what? No, we're not doing it.
We're not doing it.
Stop crying. We're not going to do it this week, okay? Mom said no.
Mom said no.
Your mom.
Your
Guys, start calling Colin mom.
Please don't call me mom.
Okay. The quote of the week this week is, and it's almost like normalized saying this quote. It's more of a saying than a quote, but it's...
So we're back to normalizing.
That'll put hair on your chest. I want to say that more, dude.
Give me an example of when one might say that.
Well, there's the classics, you know. Oh, you're drinking black coffee? That'll put hair on your chest.
Right.
You know? Or like, oh, out splitting wood today. That'll put hair on your chest.
Just like manly things.
Manly things, yeah. Things that are like, ugh, you're such a man. You know?
I like the idea, though, of saying it in times when either it like doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Or it's like really barely makes sense.
Right.
It's like something that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Like backing into a parking spot, for example.
Yeah. Or dude, like what if you said it when you were scared? Like you just barely make a merge onto the highway and you're like, whew, that'll put hair in your chest. Like just like within seconds make your flight. That like the stewardess is like, all right, take a seat, we're taking off. Yeah, that'll put air in your chest. I just barely made it. Like, whoa.
Or you like are walking down the stairs in the dark and you think you're to the bottom, but there's one more and you like trip a little.
Well, that'll put air in your chest. It's so good.
That's good.
Or like, yeah, just dude. Or you could even use it in like a musical context. Like you hit like a really jazzy chord, like a way to react to that.
Whew.
Like, you know, I can't do more than one. Like, yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, you just hit like a really jazzy chord, and you're like, ooh, that'll put hair on your chest. Yes, sir. Keep it going.
That's
so
funny.
Good, so good, dude.
Or you just see a really hot girl, and you're like, ooh, that'll put hair on your chest.
Ooh, that'll put hair on your chest.
Oh boy.
That'll
put hair on your chest.
That'll put hair on your chest, man. I just am excited to say that more.
I'm gonna try to work that in.
I'm excited that you're excited about it. I'm excited that you guys who are listening are excited about it, and I can't wait.
Dude, before we close,
yeah.
In closing, I'd like to say the following.
Yes.
Speaking of things that put hair on your chest.
Yeah.
This is half that, half life update.
Oh, cool.
I tried something yesterday.
That'll put hair in your chest.
Yes. Cold shower.
That'll put hair in your chest, bro.
So, my dad sent me this video about it, how it's all like super good for you or something, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. What the video says to do is take your shower like normal, step out of the water, turn the water as cold as it'll possibly go.
Oh my goodness. I'm getting cold thinking about that.
Wait like 30 seconds so it gets like as cold as it'll get.
Yep.
Take like a deep breath in and then just step all the way into it and then like slowly breathe out and stay there for 3 minutes.
3 minutes
is what you gotta. They say you should work up to that. Like they say the first time you try it, you'll be there for like 3 seconds.
Okay.
So I tried it.
Yeah.
I did what it said.
Yep.
And I hopped in and like I took the breath in before and I like couldn't let the breath all the way out. I was like,
oh my goodness.
I thought I was gonna like pass out or die because it was.
I thought I was gonna die.
Like it was crazy. You should try it.
Why would I try? It sounds awful.
Because I lasted like about 10 seconds probably. And then you shut the water off and you feel great.
Okay.
It's crazy.
How great? Like what kind of great? Like it's just like an adrenaline rush?
It's an adrenaline rush. It gets your heart going. And then you know how normally you get out, you don't want to get out of the shower because you're nice and warm and you get out and you're all cold. This is like the opposite. You get out and dry off and you're like nice and warm, you know?
Huh.
And it's just like the video my dad showed me said it gives you like a dopamine rush that lasts like several hours. And I was like, okay. But dude, I was just in like in a great mood for like the rest of the night.
But
after.
Dude, I was just like, just vibing.
Yeah, I'm legitimately serious.
That's awesome, man. I don't know if I'll try it or not.
Give it a try.
Maybe I will.
If you're feeling crazy.
Maybe I will. You never know.
So that's.
But that'll put hair on your chest.
That will definitely put hair on your chest.
I love it. I love it. All right, guys. Well, I think that's an episode.
That's an episode.
This has been the Recap Podcast. I have been your host, Colin Anderson.
And I have been Ian. Next week, we'll switch places again.
All right. That's it.
All right.
Love you. Bye.